This class is Intro to Photoshop, and this is an introduction to your professor, Marty Pfeiffer. That's me. First, please read the syllabus. Go to Canvas and select this class, and then choose the syllabus menu option. If you don't see the text menu on the left side, you can click on the hamburger icon to make it visible. There is a PDF available from that page. You can download it and have a nicely formatted version for your files. A PDF syllabus is useful when transferring to another college, as their counselors may need help appraising classes you've taken. Additionally, it'll remind you of skills you've learned in the class and should continue to hone. So who am I? You can call me Mr. Pfeiffer or Marty or Professor Marty. Those are all okay. I've been a professional graphic designer my entire career. After college, I worked at a place called Kinko's, which eventually became FedEx Office. We provided printing materials and graphic design services for individuals and small businesses. We made resumes, business cards, brochures, flyers, and even oversized signs and banners. There were always a lot of customers to keep us busy. I'm going to take you through a typical project from back then. I'll use two Adobe applications, InDesign and Photoshop. The nice thing about Adobe is that once you've learned one app, the others work in similar ways. Here are the concepts we'll explore in this demonstration. First, how to place images in InDesign. Second, how to resize and crop the images using a unique InDesign workflow. Then, how is placing an image better than just pasting it in? There's some unique functionality that we can take advantage of when we place images rather than pasting in pixels directly. I worked at the Kinko's in Burbank. If you didn't already know, Burbank is where a lot of Hollywood's actual work gets done. Many models, actors, and stunt people relied on us to keep their resumes up to date. Lula is an English actress who wants to pursue roles in America. She recently had a great photo shoot and wants to use one of the photos from it. We're going to use a PDF of her current resume to create a new resume. Ideally, we would recreate her resume from scratch. In this case, the designer she worked with before only gave her a PDF, which is unfortunately common. I'm of the opinion that it's not a great idea to gatekeep your design files. Instead, I recommend that you give your client all the files used to create their project. For one, future changes are simpler if you have access to the original files. Also, it's a great way to set up a relationship of trust. Here are your design files as well as a PDF. Be sure to hold on to them to make changes fast and easy in the future. I'd love to work with you again, but any other designer will be able to make changes with these. And if you provide the design files to your client, they become the custodian of those files. Think of it as making an external backup of your work. We're going to update this PDF with the new image. We'll also convert the provided color image to black and white. With InDesign open, I'll press the blue button here to create a new file. Then I'll go to my print presets and look for more options, specifically the A4 paper size. I'll choose that and then press the blue Create button at the bottom right. That opens to a blank page. I need to put her current resume here. I'll go to the File menu and choose Place. And then I'll find that PDF. I'll make sure Show Import Options is checked, and then press Open. From the preview, I'll select Crop to Media. Press OK, and then click anywhere on the canvas to place it. And then I can move it into place. The next step is to overlay this picture with the one she provided. I'll change from the Selection tool to the Rectangle Frame tool and draw a frame for the new picture to go into. It must cover the original image, so if it's a little bigger, that would be fine. I'll zoom in and ensure it aligns with those shaded bars. Now that the frame is in place, I need to put something in it. To make this quicker, I'll ensure the frame is selected before placing the image. Otherwise, I would have to click again to position the image as I did with the PDF. Once again, File, Place, and this time I'll select her image, which is a Photoshop file. And it's all zoomed in. Oh gosh, this is a problem. Fortunately, on the control bar at the top of the screen, there's a button I can press that will take care of that. I'll click the Fill Frame Proportionally button. That does a nice job. A better option would be the new button that Adobe recently added, Content Aware Fit. When I press that, I get a more nicely framed image. All that's left at this point is to change the image to black and white. On the right side of the screen, there is a Links panel. It currently contains two elements, the PDF and the image. I'll click on the image I want to edit and then press the pencil icon at the bottom of the panel. Photoshop opens and I can edit the image. Since I want to work non-destructively, I will use an adjustment layer to convert the image to black and white. And I'll adjust these sliders to fine-tune the conversion to black and white. I'm looking to create nice midtones here on her skin. I also need to ensure that I maintain the texture in her hair. The default was close, but it never hurts to adjust the sliders slightly to see if you can achieve something better. Once I'm happy, I'll go to the File menu and choose Save. To get back to InDesign, I'll press Command-Tab. And look at that! The image is now in black and white. It's ready for Lula to get some prints made on nice paper, and hopefully getting more jobs. Okay, now that we've seen how InDesign and Photoshop work together, let's look a little closer at the features of the Photoshop interface. Photoshop has a highly customizable interface. Any changes made to its appearance or functionality will remain in effect even after quitting and restarting the application. This behavior is called sticky. To make sure we're all looking at the same interface, we'll reset it to a known good state. Open Photoshop and click on the PS icon in the top left corner of the home screen. From the Window menu, choose Workspace and then select Essentials Default. This built-in preset shows a good assortment of commonly used interface features. Since presets in Photoshop are sticky, we'll reset them to their original state. From the same menu, select Reset Essentials. The options bar located at the top of the screen changes depending on the current tool. They all have some common features. From the left, there's always a Home button to return to the Photoshop home screen, where you can create a new file, watch tutorials, browse recent files, and search Adobe stock. Moving to the right, there's a Tool Preset menu. It changes to show the tool you're using, in addition to allowing you to choose and create presets. You can also access the gear icon and reset the tool if you find it's not working as expected. Next to the Tool Preset menu, you can adjust settings on the fly. Each tool will have different controls. Since the options bar has limited space, sometimes not all settings will be visible. The three dots on the right side will let you access more options. Menus are where you'll find a lot of the features that are immediately accessible from a tool or a panel. Related functions are under different headings in the menu. You'll eventually get used to where they are, but it might be a little hard to remember where a less commonly used function is. On the Mac, if you know the name of a function but not where it is, you can go to the Help menu and start typing in the search field. Not only will this list the menu items with your search term, but you can use the up and down arrows on your keyboard to jump to the menu item. Panels are where a significant amount of work is done in Photoshop. Rather than diving into a menu, Panels gives you instant access to make quick changes. Each panel features a tab with its name, a hamburger menu for changing settings, and the main area below where all the action happens. The main area can be simply informational or have boxes to type in, buttons to press, and items to move around. Many panels will also have a set of icons at the bottom to perform actions. The toolbar is where you can switch tools. Many tools have a little triangle in the bottom right corner. If you click and hold on that tool, you can change it to a different but related tool. Tools can be displayed in one or two columns. You can just press the double chevron at the top of the toolbar to switch between these two options. Personally, I like the two-column option since it helps me visualize the tool categories more easily. From the top to the bottom, the categories are the selection and moving tools, the cropping and framing tools, the measuring tools, the retouching and painting tools. There are a lot of them. The vector-based drawing and type tools, and the navigation and toolbar customization tools. There are also informational icons below the tools. The two large swatches represent the foreground and background colors. You can change either one by clicking on it and then selecting a new color from the color picker. The small icons in the corner allow you to alternate between the background and foreground colors or revert them to black and white. There are three more icons at the bottom of the toolbar. The first is the Quick Mask button, a special mode that allows you to use painting tools to make selections. The Screen Mode button enables you to change Photoshop to a less cluttered interface. You can choose between two full screen modes. Since this button will vanish in one of those modes, remember to press F to change back to the regular screen mode. The Generate an Image Using a Text Prompt button does what it says on the tin. By default, the contextual taskbar will position itself at the bottom of the document window or any active selection. It provides access to tools and actions tailored to your current activity. This is a new feature to Photoshop. Since we won't use it too much in this class, you can hide it by going to the Window menu and unchecking Contextual Taskbar. It's important to know how to get around an image in Photoshop. In this activity, we'll use Photoshop to find Waldo. Please download Where's Waldo JPEG from Canvas. Since the image is a JPEG, it'll open in your default picture viewer if you try to double-click on it. So instead, open Photoshop and then go to File menu and select Open. Navigate to the Downloads folder and open the JPEG. The Hand tool is for moving around the image. If you zoomed in, you'll only see a small portion of the whole image. This tool is handy for selecting the portion you want to view. The Zoom tool is for zooming in on your view of the image. You'll want to zoom in so you can work on more detailed edits, and then zoom out for a reality check on how those changes affect the entire image. To zoom out, press the Alt or Option key while clicking. In addition to single-clicking with the Zoom tool, you can also use mouse gestures. Click and drag to the right to zoom in or to the left to zoom out. This is called Scrubby Zoom. You can uncheck Scrubby Zoom from the options bar to get the old-timey Photoshop experience. In the before times, you would drag out a marquee with the Zoom tool, and then Photoshop would zoom in on the area you had selected. There are also buttons on the options bar to quickly change the view to 100%, where 1 pixel in the image will display as 1 pixel on the screen, or to fit or fill the document window. Since these tools are so handy, you can also temporarily change to them by holding down certain keys. Once you release these keys, your original tool will be active again. Press the space bar to activate the Hand tool. Press the space bar and then add Control or Command to activate the Zoom In tool. Note to Mac users, hold down the space bar first and then press the Command key. Otherwise, the computer will activate Spotlight, which is a universal search function built into Mac OS. Press the space bar and then Alt or Option to activate the Zoom Out tool. So now, try to find Waldo. But be sure you've located the real one. There are plenty of false Waldos in the image too.